So not wrong show.
Different hand movement?
No, it's the same hand movement. It's just different audiences.
Okay, go for it. Hadouken!
Oh, fuck you!
Don't mess with it again, Ross.
I haven't done my show yet. Hello and welcome. Blah blah. Hello, and welcome back to your daily dose of Table Talk, where we talk about your questions, topics that you recommend on Twitter and Facebook using the hashtag Table Talk, as well as on reddit.com/r/SourceFed.
That was close.
Fuck, you're so close. All right. Hello and welcome back to your daily dose of Table Talk, where we talk about your questions, topics, things, and stuff that you recommend on Twitter and Facebook using the hashtag Table Talk, as well as reddit.com/r/SourceFed. My name is Philip DeFranco.
I'm Ross Everett.
I'm Trisha Hirschberg.
I did it!
So hoping. Philip DeFranco. And we'd have to start all over again. Rotted's the best. RottedTomatoes.com.
Let's see. Inside Your Bath that says, what is your opinion on pro wrestling? Do you like or dislike it? Also, do you consider it a sport? If you're talking about WWE, I loved it as a kid. Now it seems a little bit silly to me.
I like it.
You like it?
I
It's always
like
been
it.
and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Like, there's just
That's why I like it so much, but I wouldn't say that I consider it a sport. I like it for entertainment.
Yeah.
I think it's
Male
hilarious.
soap opera. Why
it's
not?
a sport in the
exactly.
way that if like things were faked in real sports, it's a sport because there's like athleticism in it.
You know they
There-
get hurt.
Oh, they absolutely
You
get
know
hurt.
they get hurt.
Anybody who's looked at Mick Foley just knows like these people do not age well. Actually, he's one of the better ones. You know Ric Flair, Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! He just showed up to the 49ers to like pump them up before the game against Green Bay.
Yeah.
And boy, did it was like a sad thing. It worked, but like just like watching him like as this dyed blonde old man with still the barrel chest going.
Do it.
Woo! Like working his way. So like almost like he should have had a walker.
Aww.
But I mean, like you've seen The Wrestler, Mickey
Yeah.
Rourke's The Wrestler.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, why would you do this to yourself? Like Scott Hall, if you look at all these videos of all of my old favorite wrestlers, like you're just like, what did I do to you?
There was also, there was like a Kickstarter at Indiegogo for an old school wrestler recently. He had to get like hip
Ooh.
surgery or some shit like that, and he wanted to like get back into wrestling or do something. I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy, like, yeah, what those guys do to their body.
And it
'Cause,
makes me sad that they don't make more money.
a lot of the lower guys.
The lower guys are out. If you want to see an amazing movie about wrestling, it's called Beyond the Mat. They call it the movie that Vince McMahon doesn't want you to see.
Ooh.
But like there was this interesting thing, like Vince McMahon is coming up with this guy's gimmick. And like the guy's like, well, I could throw up on cue, and Vince McMahon's like, all right, you're puke, and you puke on all of your opponents after you beat them. And like
Gotta
the
get a
guy was
gimmick.
really into it, and then like the guy gets injured immediately, and we never, like, you've never heard of puke. Also, puke is not like a WWE champion. You don't see that guy holding a belt above his head.
Yeah, maybe
He's
one
no
time,
John Cena.
ironically.
Like they give it to him just to take it away.
Yeah,
again.
it's like one of those matches where like the champ at the time for some reason goes in, and all of a sudden he like 5 guys have to like slowly attack him, and then he becomes the champ. But then he loses it the next night.
The immediate next night.
Yeah.
They're like, I want a rematch against you, puke.
And all of a
It's
sudden,
just
Puke
short-
has like this ego that's like unjustified. He's like 1-0.
I don't know. His name's Puke. It's pretty cool.
I remember like an old WWE. There was when Goldberg was in the WWE.
Oh,
Remember there was
yeah.
that like skinny guy that was like he was like the skinny Goldberg, and he was a joke wrestler, but he was like 10-0 because people kept knocking out the guy he was going with. It was something ridiculous.
I would love to see-
or was it that he was 0-10? Fuck, I can't remember.
It was probably 0-10. But I would love to see a Make-A-Wish kid get in there and just win 10 straight.
They would totally do that.
Oh
too.
yeah, they absolutely
Like
would.
the WWE is the nicest organization.
Except
They're
to the
all
wrestlers that work for the
But
WWE.
I think they successfully do a good job of making it kid and family friendly
yeah.
entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they're beating the smack out of each other.
Beating the
smack.
smack out of each other.
I'm trying to be nice.
You sound like a mom that's like, are you on the smack? Like, what?
No, then it's a drug.
Yeah. What is it when it's not?
I don't know, a word to not say crap.
Did you? Okay, I'll buy it.
That's what I was going for. You like UFC though. Speaking of wrestling, that kind of is a
The
sport.
Yeah.
UFC is a total sport.
But this
Yeah.
is only like whenever I talk about UFC, whether it was on this or PKA, like only 5% of the audience cares about it. It's still like an emerging sport.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like I know so many people that are into UFC.
Well, you also hang out with us.
Yeah.
I do, but I mean outside of my work circle of friends. Like I have other friends that have UFC parties on the regular.
I don't know. There's something about the UFC that people still like see it as like this like not dignified sport, even though like boxing is like crazy.
I was
corrupt.
about to say, do you think that boxing is bigger than UFC still?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
There's a reason why Floyd Mayweather makes as much money as he does.
Well, boxing has the history behind it.
Yeah.
People have been boxing fans forever.
I-
It's a culture.
I can't watch a boxing match.
Really?
I can
You
watch
don't
it.
watch UFC?
Because totally. Because it's like UFC is like, if someone goes down, there's no one being like, all right, get off. Like it's a full out fight.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather got me back into it. I was into it when it was like Holyfield Tyson.
Oh,
and then,
well, I wonder why. People
then-
were eating each other.
But then seeing Mayweather like at his age still fucking dodging.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's
It's
amazing.
pretty incredible.
It's like that. Like people can say whatever they want about his ego. Like it's just he's amazing to watch. He's a crazy,
Yeah.
amazing.
So
one.
you're a
well,
fan of
I
both.
remember like,
Yeah, but I'm definitely more of a fan of UFC. I'm a fan of fighters in boxing.
Okay.
and then what? Manny Pacquiao.
Um,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, but he tried to speak English and it's not very good. It's cute. Anyway, let's move on.
Cody
to this
Rhodes
one.
is cute. If we're talking about cute wrestlers, be my boyfriend,
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is
I
he
don't know
new?
who that
Is he a newer
is.
one?
No,
Stone
been around a
Stone
bit.
Cold and Shawn Michaels forever. Those are my two
he's got a,
favorites.
he's
Nah,
a,
very
he's a
good.
muscly man with a little bit of a lisp, and I'm way into it. Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, someone's over.
I'm just like thinking of how ridiculous so many of those WWE like storylines were.
I love
Oh,
him.
they're so weird.
I love
I never saw this.
Undertaker and like when it was Undertaker and like what was it, the Corporate? Fuck, I can't remember. And then it was like Stone Cold and he like jumped over
Degeneration
police
X,
officers.
is that what you're thinking?
No.
Okay.
There's so
You
many.
can't see me.
I still don't know
That's
if
where we
this
live
actually
now.
happened. If you guys can let me know, because I had a friend who had trouble communicating as a kid, and there was someone that got like knocked out of. They were out of wrestling. They were injured, and I was like, "Oh, how'd they get injured?" And he said that Kane shot a fireball out of his finger. And injured them. And like I tried to inquire further, but this boy had like quite a roadblock in my
Amazing.
head. And it was just one of those things where I still to this day do not know if they actually had special effects of a fireball coming out of
If they
Kane's
did,
finger.
I missed it, but it
I
was
would hate
probably
that.
awesome.
I would hate that.
Hey,
Anyway,
man, some people can shoot fire.
I
out
like
of their hands.
Kane.
Ian Ramos, KCCO, says, why are cartoons worse than they were years ago?
There's some decent ones now. Yeah, there's
I
totally
think
some
that's
decent.
a bit of nostalgia.
I
in
mean,
the
yeah,
writing
there's a
of
lot
that
of when you're
question.
younger, you just kind of forgive more. But I will say this, back when like I think Teen Nick used to air like Keenan and Kel and all that at night, I was like, oh, like this is still like pretty funny. And I don't know if it's because like I revert back to that
Yeah.
mindset, and now when I
Maybe.
watch kid shows, I'm like, I don't know these. Where's Keenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell? And
Well-
Keenan's on SNL and Kel is at Good Burger.
But wait, so the Kenan and Kel, those guys, they were on that one show. Was it All That?
All
No.
that, yeah.
Yeah, and that was like the 30-minute
All That was
like
great.
Yeah, it was a
SNL
sketch
thing.
show, exactly.
Right, and like I remember fondly to it, but then I saw like a few clips of like when he's doing the French thing in the tub, and I was like, oh, this shit was like terrible.
Pierre
half the time.
Escargot.
I was like, this shit was
I
terrible.
loved the French in the tub. I thought it was hilarious.
But I think that it is the nostalgia, right? Because you could talk about like old school cartoons. I remember like staying in on the weekends and being like, this is exciting.
Snick was thrilling.
Yeah, but like Adult Swim is amazing most of the time.
Adult
Yeah,
Swim's
but I
great.
think they're talking
Archer's
about
fantastic.
Archer's amazing, but I
We
think
just
we're
came back.
talking about kids' cartoons. I mean, like,
Well, I just said cartoons in general. I mean, imagine if this person's saying old school cartoons, they're probably an adult too.
yeah.
So
Well, if you watch American Dad's super funny.
But
You
then
watch it
again, I
sometimes.
mean, now we're talking about all cartoons that are kind of targeted towards adults.
Yeah, I mean, those are definitely geared towards adults.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there's something like if you're talking about Looney Tunes, like those are very like a cartoon recreation of the slapstick comedy of an older era. Like when you watch, I was watching Laurel and Hardy over at a friend's house, which is like some of the original movie stars of comedy, of physical comedy, and they fell and like a piano fell on him, and then he just kind of did this thing. Where like,
like
and I was
Bugs
like,
Bunny,
exactly,
full on, yeah.
full on. So like when you watch that old Looney Tunes, it's very much a reflection of the comedy of that day. So when you watch stuff like American Dad or Futurama, it is a cartooned reflection of our version of comedy. Very wordy, very heady, cutaways, non sequiturs, which is what I mean. Like I personally to this day find very funny.
Yeah.
So when you look at young kids' cartoons, it might be a reflection of the comedy of what the generation
I also
below
think a
us
lot of the
is.
kids' cartoons right now that are super popular are educational.
Like what?
Like you look at Dora the Explorer and stuff like
really
that.
Is that still
small
popular?
stuff.
Yeah. Is that or DJ's shaking his head that that's not still
I don't know.
popular?
Adventure Time, regular
Adventure
show.
Time.
Okay, and also
is
My
huge.
Little Pony. I know people love My Little Pony.
Huge My Little Pony
Have you ever
culture.
watched it?
I have not watched
Here,
it.
I almost proposed this live on the air that we should do one episode of My Little Pony and react to what we think of it.
Ross
Just
is a
because
brony.
I've
Putting
never
it out
seen
there.
it, but I've been accused of not giving it a fair shot, and they're not wrong. I mean, like when you hear My Little Pony, I'm
People
not like,
love it.
"Gotta tune
Apparently,
into
it's
that."
hilarious. It's not like My Little Pony when we were
So,
kids.
No.
so bronies, where should we start? Should we just start it when it came back?
And
or
would
should-
you guys be interested in that? Before I go ahead and commit us to that, we want to make
Oh,
sure that
you want to do
guys-
something around it? I was just saying so we could watch it and go like.
I think we
I
should,
wouldn't
I
watch
think,
it unless we're
I
gonna-
think we should watch it first and then
decide
see
if
we
we want to
should do
do like a
something
reaction
about
show
it.
to it.
Yes.
It's a huge culture, and they did relaunch it. Someone was giving me the whole lowdown because I was kind of like accusatory of their liking it, and they were just like, "You haven't given it a shot," and I was like, "How'd you know?" And they're like, "Because if you did, you wouldn't be talking about it that way."
Right,
Wow.
that's exactly the thing is, a lot of people think bronies or dudes that are into My Little Ponies and they think My Little Ponies from years ago, from like
Yeah.
way back when it was just a like kind of Care Bears but
No.
with ponies.
been
And apparently
relaunched.
it's not now.
One of my like inspirations, my improv inspirations. I took a class with him. We were just kind of chatting, and I said like, "What shows are you into?" Because like I respected him comedically so much. He's like, "You're gonna laugh, but I really love My Little Pony." And I laughed. He was right, and he didn't break. And I was like,
Wow.
"Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, it's actually a really good show."
My experience with liking My Little Pony is when they take clips from the show and then they make it look like they're singing hardcore rap.
That's awesome.
Is that? I thought that was fan created.
No, it's totally fan
Oh,
created.
okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's it. That's for me. That's it. I'll watch an episode. but
That's
let's
what
jump
it
into
is
another
for
one.
you. Yeah, we should totally watch one. I was gonna say,
Pepe Le Pew being so rapey. Like I feel like Pepe Le Pew couldn't exist. I think today. Pepe
can
Le
I
Pew.
tell you
Wait,
how
did
much I
someone
love
say
Pepe
that?
Le Pew as
Or
a
did that
kid?
just come out of
No,
your head?
I was just thinking because we're thinking old school cartoons. There's a lot of stuff that I think couldn't fly. I mean, like the old school stuff got a
Not
little.
rapey.
But
he's
he
just
was.
trying to kiss.
You know who would be the perfect.
If I start all of a
Pepe Le
sudden
Pew?
kissing on you.
No,
like, up
trying
your
to
arm
kiss.
And, no,
Oh,
up your
my lady.
arm.
No.
Right, and then like the joke later
But
on
there's a
once they were
romantic. He's
like,
French. It's romantic. You can't.
And see, that's almost.
What's the guy
making
from
it
The
better.
Artist?
and, wait, and then the joke was like when he met the one girl that was more into him, and then she got rapey, and then he was like, oh, like,
Is that not humans? Just like I really like this girl. Oh, you're into me?
Yeah. It's Barney Stinson.
Yeah, classic Barney Stinson.
Yeah. Okay, Flying Monkeys Attack, I like your name, says, best song that puts you in the mood to work out.
oh, dude, Britney Spears' "Work Bitch" makes no sense as a song. Makes no sense as a song.
Oh my God.
But it's just like. Like if you just listen to the song and just
Wow.
understand that it'd be so easy to just like work out to it.
I love that you just admitted that.
Wow.
To the internet.
It's a terrible song. It's like, do you want a Maserati? I'm like, no. Do you want a Bugatti? I'm like, no, I still don't. Why are you just saying names of expensive things? It's a terrible song.
If you like that, you
Wow.
should listen to Lord Royals. It's just the worst workout
Yeah.
song in the entire world. No, it's just like
Wow.
na 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 na.
Wow.
I like musicals. I will put
To
on
work out to.
Yeah, because
It's weird
If
that I
I
like it.
actually, you know what I really prefer is being on the phone with someone while I'm working out.
Yeah.
Because it totally distracts my brain.
I'm not ignoring it. I'm
From-
seeing if I still have SoundCloud because I listen to this when I actually do work out. I'm not being a piece of shit. There's this song that wait, maybe it's like a 90-minute dubstep
Ugh,
workout
No,
thing.
I hate that. Dubstep actually would make my head pound. It would make me focus more on the idea that I'm tired and working out.
Oh yeah, this is it.
This
It's
is
an
it?
hour. You're not gonna be able to play any of this, but wait.
But wait, let's bump it up a little bit more.
It's like a mix of like I want to say 80 songs. It, like the first time I listened to it, it like gave me like a close panic attack.
Nosebleed.
Okay.
Nope, I'm out.
No?
I'm 100%.
I couldn't work out to
No,
that.
I do like mashups though. I like things that keep me thinking, talking. Like, so I really like musicals because like I feel like I'm watching the show.
Okay.
And it takes me out of my body.
And it doesn't have to be like a faster paced song for you.
It helps if it is,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, like Book of Mormon has been my go-to, just like that opening number, and I
coming
really
back
have
to
to.
LA.
I know I'm going.
Me too.
I have to stop myself from dancing while I run, and like part of me thinks like just take a freaking dance class, Ross. Like but I want to like be in like West Side Story.
I
or,
love
like,
it.
Going down the street.
I have to say.
DJ is
I have to say, if I saw a dude at the gym on the treadmill, like busting out some West Side Story, I'd be like, props to you, buddy.
Dude,
is that what you were doing?
I I would start a
I
conversation.
go for the pirouette and just start tumbling on the treadmill.
No, you have to
never-ending
do
trip
it
and fall.
smooth though.
Oh no, I can't do that.
No. I always work out to cheesy bubblegum pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Toy Box is great.
Listen to some Aqua.
I'm a Barbie girl.
But
Dude,
if you
they have like 4 hits. They have 4
There was
hits.
Mr. Jones.
They do,
there was
I don't give a
Barbie
shit what you're
girl.
saying.
What else was there? I got 2 of them.
Other stuff that's just, it gets stuck in your head and I can't
well,
remember.
all that matters is it's got that while you're listening. So it's like it keeps me on beat. It keeps me going.
You can listen to some, what is it? Am I going to get the name wrong? Benny Benassi?
Avicii.
No, stop it. Edgar Garibay says, do you still go out and buy physical forms of music, or do you prefer digital? I'm all digital all the time.
Me too.
But that's just me.
I am as well, but I just went over to a friend's house who had a record player, and there's nothing more haunting than hearing the mamas and the papas coming over an old school record player.
Oh, record players are badass.
It's like there's like this nice nostalgia gristle to the music.
I heard vinyl actually does sell pretty well now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Just
sure.
'cause it's
Because
like a
like,
full
you
sound.
know, it's Silver Lake. That's the capital of Los Angeles. For those of you playing the home game, it's just like, I mean, like there is like a nostalgia factor of like, oh, this is way better on vinyl.
Well, I heard it actually is better as far
It
as like
is,
the
the
full
quality.
sound. But what I think is the bigger question here, right? And I always feel like an old stupid bastard when I ask this is, do you buy or do you take from places where you don't have to exchange money?
You mean like Spotify? Does that count as buying?
You know what? I think I would say Spotify counts. Spotify, like
Spotify, Pandora, because they have ads,
Yeah.
so the artists are still getting paid.
Pandora is different because because it's just free.
I used to download. I used to download all the time, but I bought the Marshall Mathers LP2 just because I wanted it immediately, and I didn't want to have to wait to like search and find the thing.
Yeah.
And it was under $20. And it was just there, and then also like I could get like the bonus tracks and stuff like that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of regretting not just downloading it because it's like Eminem doesn't need my money.
Well, so then that's the thing, right? Because there's like if they're a small guy, I'll do it. Because I was talking to some of the guys here and other places, not to name names, but they're like, you know, if it's a smaller guy, I feel more justified. But they still probably take it from them, like they just download and steal their music, even if it's
that's
like a
interesting.
Childish Gambino or something like that. Well. But I'm also in a place where I can buy 10 albums and it's not like, oh, that's gonna hurt me.
Yeah,
it's not gonna hurt my bank. But I don't know. I understand the mindset of not buying for like the really expensive people. But I bought Beyonce's album.
Yeah.
I bought it. It's cool.
Right.
Part of it is also if I want to, I buy from my phone. Is the number one place that I don't do it on iTunes or anything like that.
Yeah, well, because it's like,
and it's
that
just
song.
like, oh, here it is, and I could download the album immediately there in seconds. iTunes has all my credit card information. Don't steal it.
But that's also, I understand
Don't
when
aggro.
I was younger and I didn't have as much cash, I was on Napster like fucking crazy.
We all
college,
were.
I
And
was,
Kazaa
yeah.
and Morpheus, like all those file sharing sites. Even like, did you guys ever have an oink.me account?
No.
Oink.me was the best. It's how I got my editing software, maybe. I don't know if this is incriminating or not. This is the second one in a row that I've said some
Who knows?
incriminating
Roll,
stuff.
I was like, Metallica's gonna come after you.
Yeah, oh yeah, come after me, Lars.
Watch
Ulrich.
out.
But it was one of those things where it was just like, it was just, that was the easiest way to get it. It wasn't
Yes.
that I didn't want to pay for it. It was like, this is the most convenient way to get it.
So yeah, for the most part, I usually would say it's an accessibility issue, but
Right.
you can get it anywhere on any device
Yeah.
whatsoever. If you don't have it, then I think it'd be interesting to hear from the artists because I think their artists have like different mindset. Like if they're on a label, I think for the most part they just want you to listen to it.
Oh yeah, because the labels already paid them for everything.
Yeah.
They make their money on tour.
Yeah, they make their money on tour, but of course, like then the record industry is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're not making any money,
Right.
Or at least not as much as we used to make.
Whatever. The record industry is falling because they failed to adapt to new means of social media.
Can we sue everyone?
Yeah.
Let's sue
It's just
everyone.
everybody.
I don't know. It's been such a long time since I've actually purchased any music. Not because I'm, getting it illegally or anything like that. Just because I'll do a Pandora or a Spotify if I want to listen to music. And then if I really, really want something, because I have a record player at home, I'll try to get it on vinyl if I can. Because then it's artwork too. And then it's like
Right.
Yeah,
a nice
I get
thing to
that.
have in your house.
It's more fun to do this than it is to do this. Like just pulling it out, putting it on there. There was almost like a dance when he would put the new album on. And we listened to Mel Brooks' 2,000-Year-Old Man on vinyl, and it was just like, oh man, like it was nice because we just
so
sat in front
cool.
of a fire, listened to the 2,000-Year-Old Man. It was like, this is like the perfect night. Like, we weren't gathered around a glowing screen. It was just like this really nice, like, I almost felt like I was interacting with a
You were
person.
talking to other
Yeah,
people.
yeah. There was an openness rather than like this closed offness that we tend to have around our gadgets.
Where were you around a fire?
My friend's apartment. It was a good night. He could have had me if he wanted.
Everything was in
You
place.
hear that,
all
friend?
nice.
Are you
He
watching?
just didn't make the move. But I think Ross giving away his anal virginity is probably the perfect way to end today's show.
Okay.
Until next time, I'm Philip DeFranco's face.
I'm not for sale. I'm Ross Everett.